Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be ranking my Juvia'S Place eyeshadow palettes. Now, let's preface this video because I don't want people to expect the entire Juvia'S Place collection. I don't have that. I have 4. I don't even know what percentage of the collection that is, but that's how many I have, 4. So we're going to be talking about the palette, how I like them, and possibly a preference description for those of you that are in the mood to try a Juvia'S Place palette, but maybe don't want to buy every single one, even though they have like the craziest sales. So let's begin. The first one is the Siharan 2. This is what it looks like. This is the entire packaging right here. Beautiful. This is a perfect description, a perfect visual of everyday with a pop of color. You got these brown shades, this wearable red. A color like this has become considered wearable. This is normal nowadays. This kind of maroony type of color. You have these great lid shades, inner corner, and then bam, these 2 pops of blue. So if you like warm brown colors with a pop of blue, here you go. And this is a lot of product. These are huge pans. So if colors like these in particular fits your everyday wear, you can make a lot of use from this palette. The pigment goes a very long way and the fallout is minimal to none. And that's applicable to all of these shadows. Out of the 4 palettes that I own, I would rank this number 3. And that's because the shades that people would consider wearable and the palette I do have in other palettes, so I could be without it, but it's still a great pickup. Next up, we have the Zulu palette, this beautiful packaging here. The packaging for these palettes, I feel like even though I have a certain aesthetic when it comes to packaging, I am down with them because they're just so visually like eye-catching. Beautiful. Here we have the inside of the Zulu palette. The one thing I would say about this is that it doesn't have shade names. So if you see me using it and I write it up on Instagram, I just describe the color. I like this palette for a number of reasons. I like the matte to shimmer ratio in this palette. It's predominantly matte. With bright, colorful eyeshadows, I would prefer a more dominant matte eyeshadow palette than shimmers or metallics. That's just my preference. In addition to that, you have a variety of colors. You have your pink, the yellow, that brown in case you need it, a purple, different greens, a blue. Like, there's a lot of stuff here. And although it's a wider range of like the color spectrum, there's still a lot of possibilities here. Like, I can mix these 3 together. I can mix these together. I can mix these together. There's so many possibilities and I have been playing with them. I mean, obviously you guys have seen my makeup looks and sometimes I just play with makeup to play with it, and I really do enjoy this. So if you don't really feel like you're gonna dabble too much in color but want to have something on deck, this is a great eyeshadow palette. I honestly love it. This is my number 2 out of the 4. This is number 2. Love it. Next up, we have the mini masquerade palette. I almost bought this. No, I did buy it, but it never came to me. So I just got refunded and then purchased it when I was in the States. But this is the mini. I almost bought the full size, the big Mama Jamma. This is a very smart palette. And upon first glance online, I thought this was the palette. This was the palette for me because you have 8 shades of like everyday wearable neutral. I know that people, it's subjective, wearable subjective. You get what I'm trying to say, right? And then you have these colorful shades up here. And the selection of these shades, I feel, are still the more popular colorful shades. The purple, the blue greens. Like, that's what you have here. That's the color spectrum that you see. Together, I think that people that want to dabble in color, but still want to have their, you know, their comforts with these everyday colors. I mean, look at this color selection. It's gorgeous. I mean, here you go. Cover that up. That's gorgeous. Cover that up. That's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And to have it all in one palette like this aesthetically, like visually, it is beautiful. This would probably be the one that I would recommend to people. I'm not saying go buy it, just I'm recommending. This would probably be a very safe first purchase from Juvia'S Place. With that said though, this is my least favorite out of the ones I've purchased. And I honestly believe that is because I have these shades down here, and although I do like the colors here, they're not my favorite colored shades. They're not the ones that I would be like, oh, I really want to do a look with that. I think they're a little deeper than what I normally would like. I like things that are almost pastel-y, shimmery, ethereal. I love those types of shades, and these just run a little darker than I would prefer. But I can see this being a very, very good first go at Juvia'S Place for people that are interested in both their everyday shades as well as their color, because the pigmentation quality of all of these shadows are just spot on. Why do I keep doing this? This is weird. Strike out. Last but not least, we have the Magic Mini Palette. You look at this palette, you look at me, and you say, what the heck? That means this is your number one palette. It is my number one palette. It is what I enjoy. And it honestly has to do with the amount of shimmer and the shimmer depth of like what's offered in the palette. There are so many great shimmers in here. There's so many. I love this one, and I love this one, and I love this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And these two are really great as like deep blue or purple eyeliners. These I've added to the center of the lid to add a pop to a colorful eyeshadow look. And then these fun matte shades here, which is the type of opacity of transition shades that I like to work with. Now, do I work with this palette by itself? Normally, I don't. I pick other eyeshadow palettes, whether it's from the other Juvia'S Place or within my own collection. So I don't work with this by itself. I think that's important to note. When I think of a makeup look and this is involved, it usually starts here. I say, I want to use like these two together. Okay, what do I use in my other palettes to work around there? But I have yet to be disappointed with any of the makeup looks that I've done using this palette, and this has been the most used palette. Nothing here is untouched. Everything has been used in one way or another. Therefore, that is why it's my favorite. I would say majority of these shades give off, like these colorful ones here, give off a very ethereal feel. So the fairy look. So if you want a lot of color options, pinks, blues, purples, that kind of color gamut, then I would suggest maybe getting this one. And also if you do have an extension of a collection that you can work to create looks using this, facilitating this eyeshadow palette. Guys, I apologize for like the sweating in this video. It is really hot. I'm sorry. But those are my thoughts on the Juvia'S Place eyeshadow palettes that I own, and hopefully it's helpful in some way if you're interested in making your first purchase but not quite sure of what you want to buy. If you did enjoy this video and have not done so already, I hope you decide to click on the red subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. This makeup look can be found on Instagram. It should already be posted from the previous video, but if you do click on the link, just be looking out for this makeup look, and in the caption I will be listing all the products. Till the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. Getting so hot, I want to take, oh my goodness, that's a lot of pick off attempts.